everybody, and good morning. How are you? So, I wanted to start my morning by doing a retro react to Chantal. She's been kind of quiet lately. She's back in Kuwait, and you would think she'd hit the ground, excuse me, you would think she would hit the ground running and be streaming as much as she can since she's back in Kuwait where she wants to be. And she's in a house and she can do whatever content she wants. You would think that she'd be streaming a lot more, but she isn't. She put out a couple of vlogs that were absolute trash, did a couple of live streams, and that's about it. So we're starting out the month slow with Chantal. And Chantal, I know you need money over there, but I guess you don't need it that badly because you're not on YouTube as much as you could be. Anyway, so do what you want to do with your channel, Foodie. I'm just here to do a retro react to you. So what are we doing today? Well, I wanted to put two clips together because they need to be together. The first one is a clip from an old live stream that Foodie did. This is courtesy of What's Happening, and this is dated December 3rd, 2020. Foodie Beauty claims to be very wary of men who just want citizenship, and she wants we got to call it this, a sex doll. So for those who weren't around during that time, yes, there was talk from Chantal that she wanted let's just call it a special intimacy doll. She had it all picked out. The doll cost over $2,000. She even talked about wanting it custom made for her, that it could talk to her and everything else. So it's too bad you didn't go with the special doll, Foodie. Now, that would have been very interesting content if you brought the special doll on camera and, had it be your co-host. So the first clip is from What's Happening about men who want citizenship. And then later on, she did a live stream of her own, and she titled it, Who Wants Citizenship? So isn't that interesting? First, she does a stream where she lets everybody know that she is aware that she is an older woman. She's aware that because of the fact that she's older, maybe a little bit on the heavy side, that men who are romance scammers are looking for women like her. She's well aware of it. She's not a victim here. She's aware that men that are romance scammers are looking for women such as herself. But then she goes on to say, who wants citizenship? So I thought I put the two clips together and do a retro react, as well as show you guys stuff on Twitter and kind of just put all it together into one video. So how about we just start with the Twitter stuff so you guys know what time it is. It is time for the Twitter peeps. Okay, guys, you know it's time for Twitter and all the Twitter peeps. I love including the Twitter peeps in with my reacts because some of you do not have Twitter. You don't want to be on Twitter. It's okay. I'm on Twitter, and I'm going to show you guys the stuff that's going on Twitter. And that way you don't have to go on the Bird app if you don't want to. There's also a lot of stuff that I found that it's not Chantal. It's good stuff. It'll make you smile today. Let me just go ahead and bring up the screen for Twitter. Okay, and here we go. So for those of you that happen to be on Twitter and you'd like to follow me on Twitter, there's my handle, WildGirlSarah. So let's start here with a post from Kelly saying, why is our pious cosplaying Miriam pointing out these demonic games? That movie is banned in the country she claims to love so much. She represents her faith so well. So this clip is from one of the boring blogs she put out, and she's in a store and she's doing the show and tell thing, this time with things that she did not buy. But let's watch the clip.
Tarot cards, and it even has an awesome Exorcist edition Ouija board.
As a Muslim woman, why would you point out the fact that this store has tarot cards and Ouija boards? Why would you do that? Why? You're pointing out these things that are absolutely haram.
Tarot cards, and it even has an awesome Exorcist edition Ouija board.
Yeah, I don't think a real Muslim person would want to showcase these things, want to show them off to their viewers, but that's just me. It's just my opinion. Okay, post from Ryan saying literal proof that rock beats paper. Anybody ever play that old game, rock, paper, scissors? Well, here's proof that rock beats paper. Look, see, it happens. Rock beats paper. So if you ever get into a rock, paper, scissors match, rock beats paper, and there's your proof. Small silly cat says spawned 5 minutes ago and already angry. Look, look at this kitten. I feel judged. I feel like I should clean my room even though it's already clean. And this baby. Look at those eyes. How could you hate on something that precious? You're so sweet. Another one from the cats. Cats just doing cat things. Cat's like, what? I want to lick his face. What? What's the problem? From Dog Lover, new dog sofa arrived. Dogs, cats, they love sofas. They love chairs. Even beds that look like sofas. Look at all the floof. Absolute floof. That's a dog pile right there. Shenanigan says, my favorite Girl World side character, long live Buster. Yes, we love Buster. We support Buster. Buster is the OG. Before there was Girl World, there was Buster. And he was hating on Chantal long before we all knew that she even existed. So you go, Buster. How old is Buster? How old is this dog? It doesn't matter. I want Buster to live forever. He's got to live forever. Just to keep throwing shade at Chantal. Christy K says, Foodie Beauty, Amberlyn Reed. When the girls start bragging about taking time off YouTube, it makes me think they have another nefarious source of income. There might be some truth to the Foodie site rumors. What do you guys think? Well, I'm glad you asked that question, Christy. I'm going to give my opinion. See, I've been calling Chantal out for the fetish content for a long time. I've been pointing it out. Other people have been pointing it out, but I've been pointing it out a lot. And I'm sure that makes her irritated, the fact that some people on YouTube are well aware of what she's doing. Here's how I feel the whole system works. Once upon a time, Chantal cared about her YouTube channel. That was her main source of income. That was her only income. But then when she started to do the mukbang content, which brought in the feedies, she was, looking into having a different stream of revenue. Anybody that's been around in Crackhead Olympics during the Canadian Villa days, y'all might remember the different instances where the feedies were a bit more obvious. Anybody remember the Lakma fairy? Or that whole month where she ate nothing but paneer? How about all those times that people were sending Amazon packages to her house? Or maybe all the torrid hauls she did. Did anybody ever notice that most of the outfits that she bought were 2 sizes too small? And there would be one outfit that was the correct size, and that was the outfit or dress that she would wear to death until it practically fell apart? Yeah, feedies. And if you're asking the question right now, how would the torrid hauls work into the feedie stuff? Allow me to explain. There is a subfolder to the main folder called the gainers. The gainers want to see the person that's eating gain weight. And one of the things they like is seeing the feedie in clothes that don't fit, that are too small. So if Chantal were doing fetish content all the way back when, whether it be in picture form or video form, she might put on outfits that are too tight, too small, that show everything bulging or the buttons about ready to pop to make those feeties happy. I feel she's been doing the feedie content all the way since then. So there were hints about that, but going forward, YouTube was her main source of income. Then she started doing the mukbang stuff, which brought in the feedies. They were absolutely delighted that they could come on YouTube, which was a free forum, somewhere that it was an adult. That if, say, somebody saw them looking at YouTube, they wouldn't think twice. They would find people like Chantal. They would find her and see her doing her videos. Chantal uses YouTube as a portal to get in front of the feedies. Think of it as, say, passing out a sample, a taste, if you will. Guys, watch her. It's kind of a way for her to say, hi, I'm Chantal. You can see me. I'm a bigger woman. This is the kind of content that I do. I like to eat massive amounts of food. She can only do so much on YouTube, right? She can't do really explicit things on YouTube, but she doesn't have to. YouTube is just a portal to get in front of them. They see what she does. She passes out her Instagram, or now her Instagram and her Cameo. Those people contact her on Cameo or Instagram. She talks to them privately, and then through conversations back and forth, she can tell them, look, if you like what I do on YouTube, I can do much more for you in private. All you have to do is pay me for it. And how do they pay her? Maybe something like, say, PayPal. And I know on PayPal, you can get paid using friends and family, which means PayPal takes out less money for whatever the transaction is. So she can't use Cash App because she's Canadian. I don't think Canadian people have Cash App, but a lot of people have PayPal. So whoever the feedie is, they work out what the person wants and for how long. Maybe they also pay for the food. Chantal herself has mentioned that the feedies pay for the food. So she gets a free meal out of it. The person pays for the content. She produces the content. And that person might just want one thing from Chantal, or she could take it further. If the person's a big time feedie whale, they might give her like a monthly stipend to do certain kinds of content X amount of times per month or per week. She might have had a few of those. So YouTube, again, is just an open door, introductory portal of showing herself, but the main bulk of her money is made offline once the introductions have been made. So do I think that Chantal does feedie content? Do I think that Amber does feedie content? Absolutely. It's confirmed that Amber absolutely does. And it's also been confirmed that Chantal also does. For those who do not know, Chantal was actually caught on a feedie site. She had a profile on a feedie site. The Kiwi farmers found the profile. Once they posted it to the Kiwi farms, Chantal deleted it. There was also an interesting instance when one of the feedies came into her live chats and said, thanks for the conversation last night. That super chat got deleted real quick. So there's all kinds of evidence everywhere, y'all. I'm telling you. Chantal's doing that content, has been doing that content for years. I believe she has a client list of regulars that come in and out at certain times. And now we know that Amber is also doing it. I don't know if Chantal's doing the hookah stuff. I suspect she has. We know for sure Amber does. So, hey, it's what they want to do with themselves. But yeah, they're both doing it. All right, moving on to antidepressant content. You are mine now. Take me to your home. Aw, Yep, that's what Booger does to me. It's over, dude. Just look, you've been chosen. Don't fight it. Just take Kitty home. What are you gonna do? Take the baby home. He wants to go home. Post of cats. Man stops to rescue kitten, gets ambushed by a platoon. Well, the cat distribution system just gave you a flood of furries. Look, look, they're all coming out. Look, I take them all home, find homes for them all. But they all want to go. How can you say no to all? How can you leave even one behind? Just take them all. Figure it out later. They all want to go. They're all hungry. Go feed them. Give them some crunchies. Give them some moist food. Help them out. That's an entire litter of kittens, or a couple. I'd be delighted though. Perfectly Imperfect says it actually goes into her obsession with breastfeeding. Remember how she let Sam, her cat, suckle her belly and talked about how she sees an infant, she wants to breastfeed it? Very weird. Yeah, for those that never saw that, Chantal used to lay down and let Sam, her male cat, suckle on her fupa. Yeah, kind of gross, but yeah, she did that. She thought it was cute. Tat Von B says, what the F is this now? The Beesh is using YouTube for who cow feeders. I just watched Are You Serious? And she's done some great detective work. Go watch the full video. Lots of information. I talked about that before, about that rabbit hole, the who cow rabbit hole, how people that are part of the Foodie community, like there is like a subfolder where people act like human cows. If they're not lactating or produce some kind of milk, they eat cookies and milk. And Chantal has actually done that in a few of her videos. So I think Chantal might be catering to that too. I'm sure she keeps her ear to the wall about different ways that she can make money with herself. And if it's something that doesn't require any effort on her part, she's all about that subfolder. But we'll watch that at another time. Foop Olympic says Amber is so bad at dragging people. She tries to come at Jordy here saying he struggles to come up with insulting jokes, but yet she uses the exact same quote, playing WoW in your mom's basement because you're so pale. A drag that she used in her community tab the other night. You know what, Amber? Was that supposed to be an insult? People who play World of Warcraft, ma'am, I would rather play WoW than look like an entire WoW raid boss like you. Do you get me? Do you understand? You look like an entire raid boss. That takes 15 people to take down, and they're all looking for the epic loot. Okay, don't come for WoW. You wouldn't last one day in World of Warcraft. You have people dueling you left and right. You get gonked so bad. Make an alliance tune in WoW. I'll come over with the Horde family from Ogrimmar. You know, we'll meet you. We'll meet you in Duratar. Antidepressant content says cats' reaction when they're caught stealing. Yeah, they're smooth. They try to play it off like I wasn't taking nothing. See, look. Oh, I've been caught. I'm gonna drop it like nothing happened. Look. It's all fine and good until somebody catches you. See? But we'll put it back. Look at them playing it off like they didn't do nothing. That's what cats do. They're such little rascals for that. Okay, this is gonna make you giggle. Punch Cat, turn on your volume for the love of God. I will. That little baby is just owning the whole bowl. That is so cool. Okay, this nature is amazing. When you are cleaning the aquarium, the sea turtles come to have their shells cleaned. They're like, hey, come back here with the brush. You want to get clean too. We're dirty. They're smart. Turtles are smart. Like, hey, that clean off our shells. Give us a little massage. The brush feels nice. That's pretty awesome, actually. Antidepressant content. Just cats being cats. I love cats. Can you tell? Aw. All right, so that's it for all the stuff on Twitter. There wasn't much, but it's okay. We ain't got to stay here for an hour sometimes. Okay, so let's start with her being wary of guys who are romance scammers. Like, what are her thoughts on that? And remember, this is December 3rd, 2020. So this is 5 years ago this happened. But even before she met Salah, way before they talked, she was aware how there are people out there that are romance scammers. And this is courtesy of What's Happening. I will leave the link for the video down below in the description. So please check it out. Give them a like, give them a sub. Tell them how much you enjoy the video. So let's go, y'all.
And I've already hidden my profile. And because honestly, I just got really discouraged and scared. Because here's the thing. I see a video about these romance scams. And they prey on women. Probably women who they think would be vulnerable, like older women or overweight women or whatever. And because they think we're desperate. I don't know what to do. I hate this time of night because it's the loneliest time of night.
And I think any man trying to play Chantal that are romance scammers, they get it wrong because they take a look at her and they assume, but they have no idea what they're dealing with. Like, on the outside, she appears as the perfect target for a romance scammer, but they have no idea how diabolical and evil this woman really is. They have no idea what they're getting themselves into. And if you want my thoughts on her and Salah, how things went in the beginning, I think that Chantal, she flipped the script on the romance scammer a little bit. I think Chantal, because of her love of filters and whatnot, Salah didn't really get a good look at her, what she really looked like, until she flew over to Kuwait the first time. But she made sure to get him locked down and locked in before that happened. I can't remember if she paid the $9,000 before she went or after it happened. I think she paid him before the first time they met. But that was her way of making sure that the romance scammer did not just take her money and run. She packed a bag and she went over there so that it was a done deal, like he couldn't escape.
4:30? I hate 4:30. So lonely. I feel lonely right now. And I think that too makes me want to stay in a relationship regardless because of the fact that I don't like being lonely. And but basically you get into this scam where they ask for money.
The problem with Chantal in relationships is that she has nothing going on in her life. She has no hobbies, no interests, no life, period. And whoever that man may be that she's got her sights on, they're supposed to be her everything. Not just her partner, but her everything. Like, that person's supposed to be around all of the time to occupy 100% of her time. She literally does not know what to do with herself except eat and sleep and get high. If she's not doing those things, she has no idea of what else to do. So that man is supposed to be around and devote all of his time to making sure that all of her time is filled up with amusements. He's supposed to amuse her. He's supposed to be there to have someone to talk to. She gets bored because she doesn't know what to do with herself.
Never send anyone money. I wouldn't do that. I want
Let's go back to that part. That's important.
to get into this scam where they ask for money. Never send anyone money. I wouldn't do that. I don't want to say stupid because I don't want to call these women.
And yet you sent him $9,000. Romance scammers, they've caught on to the fact that a lot of people have caught on to them. And so the scam has evolved over time. They don't ask for money right away. They won't, because they're playing the long con. You know, they have to build a sort of trust with you. They have to appear that they're not after you for money or citizenship. So they talk to you. They invest a lot of time in talking to you. They don't want anything they say. They're building up the trust with lots and lots of conversations. And they're doing it because they know if you're somebody and you're on the lookout for romance scammers, you've got your guard up. You've got those walls up. And so they have to do what they have to do for those walls to come back down. They're slowly reeling you in little by little by little. And then after a certain amount of time, then they hit you with needing money. You know, they're gauging when the proper time is by judging like where you are emotionally and how much in love you are with them and how much trust they can feel you have with them. Then they'll hit you up for it. They'll find something that sounds plausible, and then that's what they'll use. But you sent him $9,000 for a perfume business, and never once did you stop and think, Chantal, this guy who claims to be successful for a business, he's a successful businessman. If he was successful, why would he need your money? I mean, a successful businessman doesn't need anybody's money. So why did he need your money? $9,000. He cares about you so much, but you're across the ocean and he's asking for your money. Even though you don't have a share in the business, it's about his share. So the money you're giving him pertains to him. It has nothing to do with something that pertains to you. You don't have a ruling share in the business. But if he's so doggone successful, what's he need your money for? Never did you ask yourself that before you sent that $9,000.
Stupid for doing that. But they started, this one woman met somebody on one of these Tinder-like apps.
Yeah, Foodie throws money at men to keep them around. That is her love language. That is her love currency, money. And it's because she's got nothing else to offer. She's not the kind of woman that a man would be proud to be seen with. She has no social graces. She's dirty, gross, nasty, trashy. Like, she burps, she farts. She doesn't bathe. Like, she is not the kind of woman that a man wants to admit to talking to. So she feels that if she throws money at a man, that excuses all of her other bad traits. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. The man in question will just take the money and just keep her as a hidden secret for as long as possible. And then she, in turn, will want to be out in the open with this man. So she'll talk about him on her YouTube channel and sort of in a way try to force him to admit that they're talking. When the truth of the matter is, Chantal, if a man really loves you, without being provoked, without being persuaded or poked or pressured, they'll talk about you. A man will talk about you if he likes you, if he loves you. He will want people to know that he's associating with you. If you have to poke and pressure a man to admit to talking to you, he doesn't like you.
I'm weary because, like, I would get likes from.
And before she gets started with whatever it is she's going to say, people who might wonder, why is she still with Salah? My opinion, I think it's because Salah's the last one. Honestly, Salah is the last one. Her health is beyond terrible. Her finances are beyond terrible. Back in the day, she was making a lot more money and she had a lot more health on her side. Salah was the last one that she could sucker into spending time with her and bring them on her YouTube channel. If he decides he wants to walk, there's going to be nobody else. She doesn't have the funds that she used to have. She can't pull up her YouTube channel and go, look, I was making $20,000, $30,000 a month and sucker a man with that. Like, a lot of things have changed since the time that you're seeing her here. He's the last one in line, and there will be no others. Any man she tries to sucker after Salah will take one look at her and her bad health and her clingy, insecure jealousy and say, heck no, I don't want nothing to do with that. And I feel that has to do with why she won't let Salah go, because there are no other takers for the job. Nobody wants it.
Men who I was like, they look like models. You know, they don't look like real. like they look like catfish. Like, or their profile says, love hiking. And they're like a super fit guy. Like, what would you have? Why the heck would you give me any time of day? Really? Like, do I look like I like?
But you know what? Let's turn the tables a bit, Chantal. You know your lifestyle. If you are out there looking for a true partner, you know what you like to do. You know that you're very sedentary. You like to stay at home. You're not really an active person. Why would you set your sights on anyone that their happiness is having an active lifestyle? They want to go out. They want to go hiking. They want to go to the beach. They want to be around people. You are so not that. Why set your sights on someone that their lifestyle is completely different than yours? What hope is there of getting together with someone like that and making things work, no matter where they live, if they're completely opposite from you? There's no hope. People get together because they've got things in common and they get to know each other and they might have a connection. But you always, I would want to say you fall in love with your eyes, but that's not the case. You become infatuated. You chase the new car smell, like the infatuation wine. You drink it up, and it gets you drunk for a minute. But then after the buzz wears off, you get bored, and then you're on to the next. It's all about the conquering and the challenge. Once the challenge has been completed, you want another challenge. It's too bad that you don't challenge yourself as much as you look for men to be a challenge.
Taking long hikes in the park, you know? So it just raised some red flags to the point where I honestly don't think I really trust anybody online.
Yeah, that sure changed.
I guess I just feel, you know, the other people I would start talking and then and unmatch. I don't know. Like on Tinder, you can pick an anthem, like a song. One guy, it was like an Ariana Grande song, I know this is gonna sound super gel. I don't know if I could like fall in love with a man who likes Ariana Grande. There's nothing against her personally. I just, you know, I don't know. Just I really don't think we'd have the same taste in music, and
Chantal, is that you're not looking for somebody who is a lot like you. You're looking for the complete opposite, and you're doing it because you want a trophy. You don't want a person next to you. You want a trophy, something that you could show off to the world and say, this is what I have, and this is what you don't have. You're all about outside physical aesthetics, how someone looks. And that person, how they look, becomes an extension of your ego, your pride, your vanity. Look what I have, you know? You don't want a person, you want a trophy. Something that you can parade and around in front of girl world. Where's your husband, you say? Aesthetics. You're not looking for that guy who maybe they're not perfect as far as their physique. Somebody who likes to stay at home. Someone who enjoys the same things you do. You're looking for the complete opposite of you. You always have. Always have.
so I was just getting really fed up. And just
You know what, Chantal? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think the reason why you pay for men is because you know how awful you are. You know that you're gross. You know that you're nasty, offensive. You burp, you fart, you don't take a shower. You don't take care of yourself. I find it highly interesting that you are an incredible narcissist and vain. At the same time, you've got the juxtaposition, the oxymoron. You are that way. At the same time, you don't take care of yourself. Isn't that interesting, y'all? That this vain person who thinks so highly of herself doesn't take care of herself. You think that she would. You think that she would, but she doesn't. You know how awful you are. And you know that no decent man with half a brain is going to put up with you. Is going to put up with you eating them out of house and home. You know, the last man that was in your life that had a job that worked was BB. And he had a choice to leave, and so he did. Actually, he kicked you out. So you don't want that embarrassment again. So you keep looking for men who are vulnerable, that maybe they're hurting financially. You lure them into your golden web with money. And once they get trapped in the silk, you wrap them up and you make sure they can't escape. You'll do whatever it is you have to do to keep them in there. You'll threaten them. You'll blackmail them. You'll threaten to expose them. You find out their secrets. That's how you play the game. You try to force someone to be with you. Madam, forcing someone to be with you does not make them love you. If anything, it inspires hate and resentment and boiling beneath the surface rage. But you don't care because you get your way. As long as you get what you want, everything's fine. Is it? You're at a point now, though, that you can't play that game anymore. Your finances suck and you can't pull in any more fish. Nobody's going to bite the line.
discouraged. And of course, you had a lot of dudes. A lot of dudes. I couldn't tell. Like, I know this is bad. I watch too many true crime videos with like serial killer. A lot of them.
You know the interesting thing about you, Chantal, you cater to the feedies, but you would never take on a feedie boyfriend or husband. Someone who be completely okay with what you're doing, the content that you're doing. You don't want a feedie. If somebody's a little bit on the thick side, or maybe more than a little bit, you would never pick that person to be your partner. If there was somebody out there, they were nice to you, but maybe a little bit bigger, maybe they don't bathe. Maybe they don't brush their teeth. You know, the two of you might have that in common. You would never pick that person to be your partner. No, you want someone that they're well groomed, they take a shower, they're active. You want all of those things in a partner, yet you're not going to offer those things to your partner. Involved in the feeder lifestyle, and yet you would never take on a feeder boyfriend or husband. Isn't that something? You know, you're so much of a snob that you won't take on anybody from that community, although I'm sure somebody would take you on. But you got your nose in the air to the community that you make money off of.
I was like, could he be a serial killer? And then you have the men who would message you and be like, how are you, pretty lady? When can we hook up? I don't know. Just felt like a meat market. And then, like, who's gonna, like, think about it? Who's gonna hook up during COVID?
Foodie probably broke a record for the amount of her vid hookups. Yeah, she did. She really did.
One guy didn't even have, his picture was like a blurry picture of his back. He's like, you have to be okay with a dad bod? What? All right.
Only the best physique for Foodie, dearest. Exactly. Isn't it something? She's not exactly athletic, but she expects the men around her to be athletic or in fairly good shape, even though she's not in good shape. She's a snob. She expects from her partner what she herself cannot offer. And it's not even a case of, I'm going to get with this guy and this person's going to inspire me to be better, to be healthier. If I get with a guy, I'm going to use the fact that I'm with this person as inspiration to get myself together. No. Like, she just wants that person for bragging rights. Look what I got. I've got a fit guy. What about you?
There was one guy who was from Senegal with BB, and he looked so much like BB.
And that's BB. That's the one that got away. That's the one that booted her out of the house because he couldn't deal with her no more. He was a good, hardworking man, was BB. He worked every day. He paid the bills. Quiet, nice guy. And that poor man took as much as he could take from this one. She was over there hiding pizza boxes in the closet. She caused an entire roach infestation in the house. She cheated on him. That man took as much as he could take. He really tried. Problem is, she didn't, and then he decided to get rid of her, and I'm sure he's much happier now.
I was instantly drawn to him. But then he started getting weird and possessive, like right away. Like you don't even know me. Like, you want to just come here for your citizenship. Like, people joke about that. I'm very weary about that stuff. And, you know, and then he said something weird, like, I would like to go, he asked me if I had any sisters or brothers. Told him I have a sister, and he's like, she's getting married, just like, I don't know why I said that, just because, like, she has a boyfriend. And he's like, I should like to go to her wedding. Like, what? Dude. Like, we just talked, like, we didn't even know each other for, like, 4 minutes.
And yet, you barely knew Salah, and you guys were already talking marriage. So how do we get here, Chantal? How do we go from 2020, you were living at the Canadian villa with Pete's, and you knew about the romance scammers, to later on, you did an entire live stream called Who Wants Citizenship? And then after that, you marry Salah. And you pull up all your roots in Canada. You give up all your stuff to go live in the Middle East for no reason, other than the fact that you wanted to walk next to him and hold his hand every once in a rare while and say, this is my husband. Like, how did we get here?
Match. Freak me out.
Yep, she was flown to Kuwait to marry a stranger. Yep, she sure did.
I looked up male dolls for women. Or
I also want to go on record as saying that I think that her going to Kuwait, I think part of her decision was knowing that she had a bankruptcy on her record that she could not wiggle out of. And she thought that by going to Kuwait, she could hide from the tax man. And that's why she refuses to leave Kuwait. Like she's still dealing with her taxes. And she's afraid if she comes back to Canada, wherever she goes, the tax man's going to follow her.
just for whoever, because males can use them too.
And to follow that up, maybe part of the reason why her content sucks anymore and her views are low is because she wants them that way. I feel the bulk of her income is made off the Foodie stuff, off of YouTube, that by showing only making a certain amount on YouTube, that's what maybe the IRS sees or the Canadian government sees, but she's hiding the bulk of her income. I mean, we all know Chantal. She's famous for looking for loopholes and shortcuts and scams, and she's purposely making her content suck on YouTube to hide the bulk of her income from what she does off of YouTube.
There were some pretty cute ones. Sure, they look a bit uncanny. There's an uncanny valley kind of thing going on. But at the same time, I was thinking of the benefits. It comes with different sizes,
This is talk about the Sax doll.
appendages. One was like 10 inches. And when I saw that, I was like, yeah, every guy who I've ever been with completely lied about that. Yeah, every guy you meet, 10 inches. Sure. Now I know it's false. They're probably more like 5 or 6, maybe 7.
Oh,
I saw, like, there's pre-made ones. Like, full size.
I believe the doll that she wanted to purchase was called Oliver. I actually saw a picture of Oliver. Oliver looked exactly like Salah. Chantal, you should have gotten Oliver. It would have only cost you $2,000. And that would have been something you could have kept forever versus paying $9,000 plus to go to Kuwait and be with Salah.
Life form. Realistic. And I think it would be really interesting to play and really get down. They're never going to leave you. They're never going to break your heart unless you want them to. You're the only girl in their life.
You know, she could have gotten the Sax doll, but getting the Sax doll would mean that she would, without sounding crude, she would have to do the moving and the physical work to, shall we say, get to this finish line. There would also be the issue of cleaning things up afterwards. And the Sax doll would not be able to actually interact with her, you know, talk to her and such. Like she wants real interaction.
They can't fart. They're always ready to go. Round 2, round 3, round 4.
Oh, like Nad's 8 to 11 times daily, and your married guy hook up 4 times daily. Do I believe that Chantal had relations that much? Nah. I think she was bragging just to brag. I don't think she's got it in her physically to go that many times. I think just one time would wear her out, if that.
I'm not trolling. I'm not pulling your fingers. I'm being honest. I'm considering shopping around, saving money.
It's a shame you didn't do it. I'm telling you, that would have been interesting content. To see the doll on stream with you would have been the perfect co-host. It could just sit there and that'd be something to talk about for a while.
It's just life hassle. I'm feeling antisocial. I'm not feeling in the mood to meet anybody, honestly, right now. And even if I do get a lover someday, real one, alone time is important too, if you catch my drift. So, our chicken is so good. Wow.
Her loving this food sounds real compared to her current Kuwait mukbangs. Yeah, about that. Anybody that watches her old content, you'll notice that back in the day, she used to really, really love food. Really love it. I feel the reason for that is because part of the thrill of her being someone that she's into the food fetish is the fact that she could buy what she wanted when she wanted, as much as she wanted. She was in control. And when she moved over to Kuwait and she gave Salah control of her, it took the thrill out. Like it wasn't fun anymore to sit down and do a mukbang because he was there. It stopped. It was a buzzkill. So when you watch her in Kuwait eating the food, like you don't see the joy that used to be on her face. Like situations like this, like she was really enjoying the food here. Not so much in Kuwait.
What do you guys think? I hope you won't judge me for it because
Stop complaining when people react. You put this on the internet. Yeah, you put something on the internet, people are free to react. It doesn't matter if it's a picture on TikTok, a TikTok video, something on Instagram, even something on Facebook. You're putting something out in the public. Anybody that sees it, they might feel a certain way and they're free to have a reaction. You can't stop that.
I think it would be a lot of fun. I don't know when I'll ever.
And you complain about the cost of a sex doll, and then you spend 4 times the amount on Salah. Oh my. So what a great video from What's Happening. Thank you, What's Happening. That was great. Now, let's switch gears where Chantal says to the world, who wants citizenship? And this is just 2 years later. So in 2020, she was at the Canadian Villa saying, I'm aware that there are people out there who want citizenship. I'm aware of the fact that I am a older, obese woman, lonely. I'm the perfect target for these people. 2 years later, she's being the aggressor and saying, who wants citizenship? She's not getting online and saying, who wants to be with an older woman who's successful, who's making money, blah, blah, blah. She is not offering up any positive attributes of herself as a selling point. Like, this is all that I am and this is all I can do for you. No, she's putting citizenship on the table. Like, that is the ace in her hand. Who wants citizenship? She's not selling herself. She's selling what she can do for that person. Like, that's who wants citizenship. You want to know why? Because she knows she doesn't have any positive attributes. She knows she's awful. So she's playing the one card in her hand that she can play, offering up citizenship. And you have to wonder, when her and Salah had a conversation about her going there, moving there, staying there, that was part of what she promised him was, I can get you citizenship. And she knew before she showed up, she knew that she could not really give that to him. She knew her financial situation. She knew about her bankruptcies, but maybe she was hoping that he wouldn't find out for quite a while. And until he figured it all out, she can stay over there. And that's exactly what she's done. Like, just hiding all the things about herself that would make him go, no, I don't want to be with you. Keeping it hidden as long as possible. But I think he's caught on to you, Chantal. I think he's caught on to all of it. And your time in Kuwait is running out. But this clip is courtesy of Meandering Thoughts. Again, we'll leave the link for Meandering Thoughts down below in the description. But let's see what she has to say. So the video starts out saying it's absolutely clear here that she knows what she's doing. She wanted to find a man to play her fake husband on YouTube, an Arab man, because that has been her fetish since Natter. She knew she could get one if she comes with money and Canadian citizenship. Again, she's not using herself as a selling point. She's using what she can give that person potentially. Like using money and citizenship as the fishing lure to bring in the big fish. And yeah, like she got stuck on Natter and she's been looking for a man to kind of replace him ever since. But let's start with the video. Of course, she thought once she bought the guy, he would just fall in love with her beauty, kind heart, intelligence, and bubbly personality. Never happens with scammers, though. Not her first try either. See my Meetin video. Well, the reason why they're not falling in love with her beauty, her kind heart, intelligence, and bubbly personality is because those things don't exist. She doesn't have those things. That's not who she is.
I feel lonely. There's nobody here with you. I think pretty soon people are not going to want to be first on my chats at all. Hi, somewhat Steph. J-Boy. Gucci Gamer Girl. That title, though, really?
And can I just say, Chantal lived in Canada at this time. Canada is huge. It is so enormous. If she'd been halfway decent, I'm sure she could have found someone to spend her time with. If not in a relationship or get married, just someone that just have coffee dates and stuff with. Heck, she lived with Pete's. Pete's would have been happy to do things with Chantal if she wanted to do them with him. But you're living in Canada, Chantal, or you did. Huge, huge place. It's just weird to me that you were in Canada and you're looking outside of Canada for companionship. But I think another part that plays into this, you were looking for a guy that you could have some kind of power over. Someone that would get with you. You could control them with money. If they weren't fluent in English, that would be another way you can control them. Because if they're not fluent in English, they maybe would not be onto the things you say or the things that onto what other people say, like say people in girl world. Like you were looking for someone that you feel would be at a disadvantage and you would have the most power.
Gemini Gem, Feeder Beauty, Alexis, Missy Moo, you got the notif? Good. Golden Girl, Vans Beezer, at home with Melissa, Brandy, Rochelle, JV, Lambo. I'm so happy to see you guys. I'm a little burnt, just beezing a little bit, and it's so good at DTF. Getting ready for payday with the title. Let's see, I got a couple grand to spare. Who's ready?
So gross. So gross. I got a couple grand to spare. Who's ready? Ew. Predator. You know what's sad about you, Chantal? If you were a well-kept woman, if you kept yourself up, if you took care of yourself, if you worked on your issues, you got yourself together, you wouldn't have to pay men to do things for you. They would just be attracted to you and want to spend time in your company. You're so awful that you have to pay people to be around you. Nobody wants to be around you for free. But imagine a man saying something like that. Imagine a man saying something like this. Like, the fact that she's a woman makes no difference to me. It doesn't matter if it's a man saying it or a woman saying it. It's still bad. It is still bad. Let's go back.
I'm so happy to see you guys. I'm a little burnt. Just beezing a little bit. And it's so good to DTF. Getting ready for payday with the title. Let's see. I got a couple grand to spare. Who's ready?
If a man said it, that would be gross. She's a woman. It's still gross. Predator, foodie.
Okay. Come on, dude. Hi, Jay. How are you doing? It's so good to see all you guys, honestly. Jamie, Jennifer, I know you're gonna roll your eyes at me, but I am getting marriage propositions from desperate men who want citizenship. I know.
I can't. Don't even know what to say. About 7 weeks later, she met Salah online. So she did this live stream saying, who wants citizenship? Chantal, you're over there putting down men who are approaching you for marriage. At the same time, you made an entire live stream saying, who wants citizenship? You're calling them desperate, but yet how desperate are you? That YouTube is not a dating site. It is a site that people use to do videos, music videos, art videos. And you're using it like a dating site. Who wants citizenship? As opposed to who wants to go out with me? Who wants to get to know me? You know, because generally when people get married or in relationships, they get to know each other first. And then if they get to know each other and they're feeling each other and they're feeling the marriage thing, they do the marriage thing. You didn't say, who wants to go out with me? Who wants to get to know me? Who wants to go on a coffee date? No. Who wants citizenship? You threw the strongest cards you had on the table. Who wants citizenship? As if you could actually make that happen. You can't make it happen. Bankruptcy's on your record. You can't make it happen. So what you're throwing on the table is a lie. You can't give that to somebody. You can't offer that up, but you're using it as a hook anyway.
You know, it doesn't help that I'm kind of pretty either. Hi, Nikki's here. Married dark golden girl. Not diagnosing you, but I'm an ADHD and without meds I could go crazy. Please see a psychiatrist. It's so hard to see a psychiatrist these days.
No, it's not. I mean, there's all kinds of therapy you can do, even online. People do stuff online. You can pay them per week or per month. You just don't want to go. You think you're fine.
Stop adding random Egyptian men on Facebook.
Yep. With her laughing that way, it's obvious that the person hit the nail on the head. Pathetic. Yep. So you know that's what she's doing. She's embarrassed because she got called out.
How do you know?
Because you're just that obvious and that desperate. Yep. After Natter, she was looking for the next. She couldn't have Natter, so she was looking for the next Natter. Looking for someone to replace him. I don't know exactly what it is that triggered this woman to go on this feverish quest to be with a man, but she put herself on one. It was crazy. What happened, Chantal? Was it because your sister Natalie was getting married and you feel like you're in competition with your sister, and if she's getting married, you have to get married? You got to be with somebody you feel like if you're not in a relationship, you're less than a woman who is married? I mean, where's your mind? How does that work? What caused this feverish quest to be with a man? What happened?
Look I'm so pathetic for attention. I sometimes just randomly, if I'm bored and I'm alone, and I randomly answer these messenger calls from all of these random men from Egypt, and they don't even speak English. So
answer these calls or DMs from random men. You don't know them. You are not fluent in the Egyptian language or Arabic. You want a relationship, Chantal, but how can there be a relationship without communication? If you can't really talk to the person that you're interested in, they can't really talk to you. You can't get to know each other. How is a relationship possible? The most you're going to get is a situationship, which is what you and Salah have. You guys have nothing in common except that you make money. He likes money. He likes taking your money. You are his walking ATM, his piggy bank. That's the only connecting point.
Here's how the phone call goes. Ding, ding. And by the way, if you don't answer, they call about 1,000 times in a row. And
like that bothers you. I'm sure you love that. The fact that they call 1,000 times. To you, that looks like, oh, he really likes me.
They don't. And then if you don't answer, so they'll call, missed a call, then they'll put a heart and a thumbs up. Like, oh, wait. Okay.
Sounds a bit like Salah, who wouldn't leave Kybella alone. Got mad when she didn't answer right away and didn't even care when she was sleepy. Yeah, being the aggressor. And they're looking for women like yourself that take the aggression as, oh, he must really like me. He must really want to talk to me.
Is this CBD pen that I digged out of my bed okay? I took a friggin' edible, sorry. Anyway. Block them. No, because I add them. I block them after if they're not cute in person. Anyway, I'm kidding. Ring, ring. So then I answer them and this is how it goes. They're usually like just like this face, expecting like no one to answer or something. So then when they see my face and I'm like, hi, they're like, so then sometimes I just go, flash, bye.
Yeah, that's the kind of woman you want to be your wife. That's the kind of woman you want to make into your wife or your girlfriend. Somebody who's so pathetic for attention. She's going to flash her boobs at strangers on the internet. Does she get that these men who see Western women who act like that as trash, whores, and a piece of crap, learn the culture, idiot, or read what Salah said to Kybella? Right.
Why not? Give them something to friggin' oh fuck. Then they asked to see your tatas. Send Bob's and vagine. I do it. I'm the Bob's and vagine sender. So they must
Ew.
hear about this. And then I get like, you accept.
Chantal, there's an old saying, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? You wonder why men don't want to marry you? You wonder why they don't want to be in a relationship with you? Think about that. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? If you can get what you want for free, why put the cow in the pasture and buy it hay?
One person from somewhere else in the world, and then you get 800 different friend requests. Anyways, let me.
And you idiot fell for Salah. I can't. Of course, it works like those phone survey things. You answer and talk to one. They give your number to 500. So that's how you met Salah. Yeah, you got. She was passed around Patty.
Tell you this. How high am I right now? Actually, I'm not too bad yet. You'll know. I'll start getting like. I hope I don't get like that. It's always a hit or miss. I plan not to, but sometimes it just hits me wrong. Anyways. But there's this one guy. Oh my God. He is too hot to even like. I know you're not going to trust me since every guy said hot.
Anybody notice the common denominator with all the men that Chantal talks about? The first thing out of her mouth when she's interested in a man is he is so hot. Like he's got to be hot. He's got to be just, fan yourself melting hot. She talks like a 16-year-old. He's so hot. He's so hot. Oh my God, he's so hot. What about his other qualities, Chantal? What about the other qualities of that man? You don't want a hookup. You want a relationship, right? That means you got to get to know the person. What are their other qualities? You don't care to find out. You see that they're hot, and that's all that you need.
Anyways, so that's why I'm like, okay. And they all ask me to marry them, like instantly. Like, do you want to get married? I love you. Want to get married? And I know it's because they want citizenship. So this is why.
Just like Salah, and 4 weeks before him meets in Dumbo, right?
Oh, well, I mean, whatever. No, none of them speak English. So not hot. Yes, very hot.
I'm not inside Chantal's head, but knowing how she operates, her way of thinking, if she got with a guy that got married to her, let's just say somebody was actually dumb enough to marry her, thinking they were going to get citizenship. In Chantal's mind, she would just think to herself, it's going to be a while before they can leave anyway. At least I'll get them for that long.
Very hot. All your guys look like big toes. You're on their catfish list. Oh, you're right. I could be on a scam list because I talked to that one guy. Oh, no.
Because you talked to many guys and Salah was just another scammer who had you on his list. But that's what you were looking for, right? Yeah. Like, I think her and Salah, just like her and Nader, they scammed each other. When it came to her and Nader, funny thing about that, they underestimated each other. Nader looked at her and said, she's just some overweight, stupid, desperate, lonely, love-starved broad. I can get what I want out of her. She's got money. And she looked at him and thought to herself, he's just some skinny, desperate, money-hungry crackhead. I can get what I want out of him. And they found out a little bit too late. They underestimated each other. They locked horns for control. They were constantly doing the power plays and playing tug of war with each other about who had the most control and power over the other one. Chantal was intrigued to find a man that would tell her no. For the first time, somebody was telling her no. And she was intrigued by that. She was determined to get her way. And in the end, she didn't. So she went on the hunt again, looking for a man she could control. But Chantal, funny thing about that, if you find a man that you can control, you get bored with them and then you're on to the next. So as much as you say you don't like men that you can't control, when you do find one that you do, you get bored. You're not happy with that. You're not happy with the guy that tells you no, but you're also not happy with the guy that tells you yes either. So what's the right answer here?
Oh, Big Bertha wanting her Canadian citizen privilege and Canadian citizen cleavage. Oh, hi, Tiff. Hi, Tiff. Nader's more like the long, ugly toe next to the big toe. Shut up, Brandy. It's true, though. If we were all toes, I would be a big, ugly toe. Which toe would I be? He tried to convince us Nader's hot.
Yeah, she did. She's like, oh, he's so hot. He's got a 6-pack. Then we saw Nader and we're like, huh? What? We got punked.
Well, I once thought that, so.
How many party favors were you on to think that way?
Okay. for argument's sake, if he was a nice person and his teeth were not crooked and he looked healthy weight, he would be hot. He would be attractive, objectively, right? So, no. You would be the big toe, the toe with a bunion. You're the chubby pinky toe barely hanging on for sure. Those are big issues. Those are big issues. So if it was this, if he was this, instead of this, instead of this, instead of this, he would be this, right? No, you guys know what I mean. His eyes are too scary, dark eyes. I used to like that. I used to like how...
Are you guys noticing something? If you're not, let me put it out to you. Notice the way she's talking. Do you hear any baby talk? Because I don't hear any. She wasn't doing the baby talk as much during the Canadian arc, the Canadian era, when she was living with Pete's. No baby talk. It showed up the most with Salah. See what I mean about her changing personalities depending on who she's around? When she's around somebody who is acting like an adult, then she'll act like an adult. When she's around someone that she wants to manipulate with the baby talk and they let her get away with it, she'll do more of it.
How emotive they were. I used to think, oh, they're just really passionate eyes. Some of these men, okay, that I talked to on Messenger, I've only spoken to them like in like 5 sentences, and already if I don't answer them, they're like, "Are you talking to another man?" Like, what the fuck? Red alert.
Well, they can't let their mark talk to another scammer, Dumbo. Right. If they're locked on you and they want all of your money, they don't want you talking to another scammer. But Chantal, again, let's flip the tables back on you. Don't you act that way with men? Like if you're talking to a guy, and even if you guys aren't in a relationship yet, you get very pushy, forcey, pressury. Like that guy can't talk to anybody else. They can't spend time with anybody else. Like once you got somebody in your crosshairs, you are insistent on talking to them all of the time, even making them FaceTime you. You do not allow that person to have a personal life.
Emotive equals insane. Well, look at how I'm breaking out on my face. Tiff Apple. Emotive is a nice word for psychotic. Did anyone see Meandering Thoughts video today? Ju said. No, what was it about? I did a weigh-in earlier. I'm 232.
Lies. Lies. I will acknowledge that when Chantal was with Nads and they were heavy into the powder, nose powder party favor, she did lose weight. She had said she lost about 50 to 70 pounds, and I believe her. Just because you could see how her face was changing. More of the cheekbones, more of the ears popping away from the head, and then she gained it all back. But never was she ever at 232. Liar.
What do you want? You freak of nature?
Treats, probably.
Too bad, they're
She always
upstairs.
does.
Okay, BTS fan, did you see video of all the times Nader talks about eating people by its watermelons? Did he ever try to bite you? I think they're eating folks. Dee Dee said it too. You think they're cannibals? Hi, Tata. Do you think they're... Thanks for the super chat. No, I don't think they're really eating people, but he's never tried to bite me, honestly. I don't think so. I don't think so. Are there any missing people in Machine?
Yeah. You're coming on camera, burping, farting, and you wonder why there aren't guys lined up at the front door to date you, Chantal.
Box pyramid.
You know, I know this may escape your way of thinking because You're all about whatever is whatever. And I do what I do online and nobody should care. But when it comes to relationships, the people that you're with, they do care. If they have family, if they have friends, if they work at a certain job, if their significant other is out in the public doing disgusting, disgraceful things, it matters because it might fall back on them and be embarrassing, or people around them may stop talking to them because of who they're with.
Box Mountain is going to turn into Box Pyramid. Stop it. It's a hot weekend at the villa. A lot of talk about Dee and Nat are grooming women. Oh, here we go, Curly. We're going to let Curly in so that she doesn't get me killed. Welcome to Very Important Beaches, Risha Beach. Missy Moo, prepare the people stage. Ready, set, block. Do you have anything intelligent to say to us, Curly, or what? Because we're waiting. Can I have the Canadian citizenship? I don't want to be American anymore. So I think I want to get married. I think it's going to happen. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to fend off all of these men.
So she got fake married about 3 months later. She really thought even if it's a scam, they'd fall madly in love with her. She just has to get into their house, right? Yeah, we remember Chantal saying that. I just have to get into his house. Imagine a man saying that about a woman. I just have to get into her house. But again, she's a woman saying that about a man. I just have to get into his house. It doesn't matter who says it. Both are creepy for saying it. I just have to get into the guy's house so I can leave my stuff and plant the flag of territory in their house to establish this territory is mine. This person is mine. I can leave my stuff over there, and because my stuff is there, they can't get rid of me. I can always call and show up whenever I want. It was her being pushy.
And I mean, really? Pink Floyd fame. Hi, Shay. Anyway, back to cute boys. That's all I care about these days, isn't it? I'm single. This is what happens when I'm single. I can't stand being single, and I need attention. So
I told you, like, you can't give her enough attention. She always wants more. Like, she's exhausting. She is absolutely exhausting, and she's blithely unaware of how exhausting she is, or if she is aware, she doesn't care. She wears people out. She doesn't care if she wears people out. She has no care for other human beings. It's about what I want, when I want it. I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care if you're sick of me. Just give me what I want.
excuse me. Oh. Yes. Don't let these men take your money. No way. I'm not letting them take my money.
Oh, no, they didn't take it. She just gave it to them.
They can take my virginity. No kidding. So I think, like, maybe, I don't know. Excuse me. You look desperate.
Projecting onto that poor cat.
Kitty needs a brushing. Probably. Why would she care about her haters suing each other? They're like high school. Like, that's what I mean. Like, it makes me feel gross. I don't want to have anything to do with any of these people. And especially the sexual deviants. Oh, yes, Liliana. Okay. It was from Jennifer Corvina. I think she's just so mad now and just trying to burn everything down. So she's just throwing out anything she can. Because I will say that the accusation that Nader is recording sex of us in hotel rooms and selling them to his brothers is fucking stupid, because that never happened. Because number one, we didn't have sex in all kinds of hotel rooms. We were very rarely in hotel rooms, only until recently, like, when we had to sneak around or just like whenever, because we were not living together, right? And he doesn't have his place anymore. So we need to see proof of this, which I'm sure if you had something juicier, you wouldn't just release a fucking crappy video of Green Peen and fucking obese Pat Sajak in bed with 3 cigarette moms on conference talking about nothing. Like, that didn't happen. That did not happen. So I'm just telling you guys, if, like, sure, when there's video and evidence and everything, that's different. But I feel like they're mixing a lot of untruths in with the truth as well. So just be careful. They only had sex at exclusive getaways like the nights in. No, I mean, we had sex every time we've been together. There's like, you don't meet with Nader and don't have sex with him, which is what always bugged me. Like, okay, there's no way there's a woman at his house. But then I thought, okay, look at her. Why would he fuck her? And then that made me like kind of, but that's ignorant of me. And like, So anyway, yeah. They're all lying to stay relevant. Him, her, Jennifer.
Chantal, do you notice a pattern with things? Because there is a pattern here. During Crackhead Olympics, you were all into Nader. You wouldn't leave him alone for a second. You even hated going back home to the Canadian villa just, to get yourself together and get some fresh clothes to go back over there. Like, you wanted to be with Nader every single second. You wanted him to entertain you, to give you the party favors, to party with him. You got so into him that you stopped caring about your channel. All you cared about was that man. You got so wrapped around him. And you did not learn your lesson while being around Nader. So now you're in summer school with Salah. You're repeating the same lesson with a different man. And you're going through the same suffering that you did before. You've had many opportunities to pull your big head out of your big butt and see things for what they are and fix everything, but you don't want to. You're so against the idea of being alone that you'll be with Salah until you run out of money and he takes off. You're not going to do what's right for your channel or for you. You could have stayed in Canada this last trip, not gone back. But you went back for what? For him? To make sure they didn't divorce you? Would that have been a bad thing if he did? I mean, what kind of a marriage do you guys have anyway? How is being in Kuwait beneficial to your channel? It really isn't. Everybody's tired of you being Kuwait. And it's not Kuwait's fault. Not blaming the country or the people there. It's your fault. It's your fault because you are not yourself when you're in Kuwait. You're somebody else. You're fake. You're phony. You're not being genuine and real. That's the difference. That's why everybody hates this Kuwait arc. Again, not Kuwait's fault. It's you being phony and fake, and it's tiring and it's old and it needs to stop. This is the real you. Not Miriam. Not the baby talk with Salah in Kuwait. This is you.
All of them. So that's what I'm saying. Okay. I don't know about Jessica Messica. I don't know if she's lying. I don't know. I feel like she's like more honest than the rest of them for some reason. Just a vibe I get. I did take them to the groomer.
No, you didn't.
The hell? I just took Sam.
What about BBJ?
And BBJ doesn't really need it.
And then we find out later that she was mad at all through her fur. Liar.
Angry Andy Gornthole. Coochie, maybe. What was I saying? So that comment, what was the other comment? Oh, no, yeah, I don't want to talk about that other comment because I don't know anything about that. But I really, you know what? I feel bad for you, actually, Dee Dee, because I know This whole time you were in love with him, and that must have been so weird to be aware fully that he was fucking everybody and messing on Messenger, flirting with women, and I would just, oh my God.
Yeah, tell us how that feels, Chantal, after what we all found out about Salah. Yeah, it seems like every guy you get with, they want everybody else but you. Isn't that something?
It's so weird. Can you do a stream in Turkey where you offer Canadian citizenship? Oh my God. Okay, so here's the other thing. I'm sort of falling for this other man in Turkey that that I've recently just like, and he said he's going to show me around and everything. Plain cheeseburger. Anyway, do you remember this one dude I'm really, really like too? Do you remember the guy from Qatar? Oh, he's so hot. Anyway. Get out of here, fat beater. Listen, he calls me on video today. Sometimes I talk to these guys randomly. Like, I don't even have time to miss them because I'm so busy talking to the other ones. By the time that one gets back to me. So he's like, because he just came to Canada and he spent like a lot of money. He spent like $10,000 on the trip. He stayed for a month. So he's not going to be coming back anytime soon, but he has a pretty good job down there. I know, plain cheese. We're seeing where it goes. Another sucker boy. Okay. Anyway, fuck. So he calls me from this like Moroccan restaurant and he's having tea. And he's got this hot British accent, right? And this guy, hey, come here, sweetie. So it's like we're trying to gauge if we're right. He's like, I don't usually do long distance relationships, but there's something very sweet about you. He's like, but are you a good housewife?
No, absolutely not. You would think somebody as thirsty as Chantal, that she wants to be in love so desperately, if she keeps running into men that are asking for certain things, that are requesting certain things, or looking for certain things, that she would improve herself in that way so that she could meet that qualification. If she runs into guys that are saying, I'm looking for a woman who is more traditional, that you know how to cook, you know how to clean, you're this, you're that. Like, she would say, well, maybe I need to be more like that, so that when I talk to these guys, if they want this thing, I can say, yeah, I can do this thing. I am that way. But she expects to find a loving partner that will put up with all of her awfulness, all of her evilness, all of her putridness without complaint. Chantal, you could look high and low in every corner of the globe. You're not going to find a guy like that. You're not going to find that golden guy who looks like a model, that they're going to accept all of you and your awfulness and give you real love. It's just not going to happen. If you want love, love is supposed to be a good thing. And to have it and to hold on to it, you've got to be a good person. And you've got to have good qualities. You can't be absolutely putrid and rotten and expect to find the best of things. It'll never happen with you. You attract that which you are. If you are not like that, you will not attract that. And even if you do, you can't hold on to that.
And I was like, I want to know your honest opinion. Do I seem like I would be a good housewife to you? And he's like, well, I don't know. You seem like you could be teachable and you might have, I don't know, maybe some bad habits to change. I'm just like, oh God, I don't think I would be a good housewife. It's kind of depressing.
And yet you're over in Kuwait trying to portray yourself as a traditional wife, when you're so not like that. You're in the Oceanside Villa right now. The place is disgusting. Food everywhere, food around the computer. Disgusting. Disgusting.
Pressing.
Okay, so how long will it take her to get the cultural differences, and that is she's fishing in the wrong pond? She'll never get it. She will never get it. That she's just throwing her fishing line in whatever pond happens to be available, and she will never be successful.
Say no. Right? I'm not a housewife, am I? Do you think I could be?
No.
Like, what does that mean? Like, take care of the house?
Chantal, you don't even clean up after yourself. I can't imagine you cleaning up after yourself and another person.
I mean, and stay home?
Right, she has a stay-home part with Salah now. So, like, she has no problem staying home. So while you're at home, why don't you do something while you're at home?
I mean, I can't have children, so what's the point of setting all this up? You know, like, let's just go travel the world together. Red flag chaperone, right? You should have.
Yet what Chantal has tried to do with Salah is have like a sort of like a family in the way that she can. She cannot have human children with a man because of her hysterectomy. So she tried to bring in other things to kind of imitate having a family, like pets. Oh, we've got the hamster, we've got the cat. That's our family. At the same time, she doesn't care about those baby angels. She doesn't care. So you want these pets to act like anchors to keep Salah with you. At the same time, you don't even care for them.
I said, have you seen my box mountain? Right. I think he's seen it in the background. What is the mountain range called? I suck at housewifing. Learned the hard way 2 times. All these foreign men are hot, but they just want the papers. And once they have that, they establish a business and marry someone from their own country.
And what happened with Chantal and Salah? She gave him $9,000 for his perfume business, which went nowhere. $9,000 for nothing. $9,000. Like I said, he told her allegedly that he was a successful businessman. Okay, successful businessman. Why are you taking a woman's money for your business then? Normally when there's a business, don't you have other business partners? Aren't they supposed to put their money in? That way they have a controlling share or something? What's he asking your money for? You don't even have a share in the company. But you gave up your money for what? For what?
Oh. Jessica!
People told her, so yes, she did it because she knew it's the only way for her to get a husband, thinking the scammer would fall in love with her. Like, I don't know why she would think that's possible. I don't know how she would think that is absolutely possible. If you're scamming somebody, if the person you've got your eyes on is a scammer, what about that would inspire love? If you're lying and conning the person and they're lying and conning you too, how can the two of you fall in love with one another when the whole thing is based on lies and deception?
Because I can't have kids, so they're going to be like, okay, well, fuck this shit. Right, because a lot of them are very traditional too in that sense. That's what they want.
So why are you fishing in that pond? If you're talking to men who express an interest in having a family and you know that you cannot provide children, why fish in that pond? Why continue to talk to those men? Why aren't you looking for the men who say, I don't want children, or I've raised up my children and I'm just looking for someone to be with and the two of us can be together? Like, you're not seeing what you are, what you want, what the other person wants, and putting the two together.
I know. But this guy, I don't really have the time and patience either.
And to be fair to these men, if Chantal's a liar, if she is talking to men that they say on their profiles that they are interested in starting a family, or they're looking for a traditional wife or girlfriend or partner. And she's pursuing them anyway. That's on her. That is selfish. They're saying out loud, I want a family. And Chantal, with her actions, are saying, I don't care what you want. I don't care what your plans are. I don't care what you want in the future. I want you. So me wanting you negates everything that you desire.
Guy, if I brought a guy over here, he would need to learn the language. He would need to go to school or find a job, and I would have to be patient with them, and I would have to help them establish their life. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to like have sexual relations with them. Maybe like help them out a little bit with what I can, but like
In other words, give them money. She's not comfortable with bringing a guy over from another country and sponsoring them. Not that she could, but if she could, she wouldn't do it, because she knows they would run off. After a few years, they would run off. They might run off before then. She's not lovable. Sorry, she's not. She'd only be able to keep them for so long.
like leave it at that, you know? Bye. Here, help you establish your own life.
So someone who is dependent on her and that she pays for sex, and then hopes she can buy him completely. Good luck with Salah, Chantal. Yeah, she tried it with Natter. It didn't work. And she's tried it with Salah. That didn't work either. She's going to learn her lesson one day.
So for me, I don't know what I want to do. And I mean help. I mean, like, honestly, giving like Lewis $20 is like paying, it's like paying rent for a month. You know, it's like, maybe someday I'll just find a man at the end of all my travels that I want to settle with. When I'm ready to.
What about if they want to settle with you? You're always looking at things from the one side, your side. I want to find a man I could settle with. What about one that wants to actually settle down with you? It takes two, Chantal. A partnership, a marriage, a relationship is about two people. Have you ever seen the shape of a heart? Do you notice that there are two sides to a heart and both parts matter, not just one? Stop being selfish and thinking about just you.
Finally get a home and settle down, I want it to be with someone. So maybe I'll meet someone on my travels, because the world is vast.
The thing is, though, you don't want to travel. You don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to meet people. You don't want to talk to people. You don't want to explore friendship and take your time. You want to just fast track everything. You do. You want to fast track everything. I want a relationship and I'm going to establish it online and lock somebody down before we even meet, because I know the moment that he meets me, he's probably going to be repulsed. So I'm essentially going to lure him into a relationship and trap him with my money so he can't run away. And that's what you did with Salah. And the time that you spent with Salah, I am betting, Chantal, you found out some shady stuff about him and you're holding that over his head. And that's why he won't leave. Because you and Natter both played that dirty game. You find out some juicy information and you put it in your back pocket. And if that person threatens to leave, you pull that information out of your pocket and go, oh, remember this? I remember this. And I will never forget. And if you make me mad, I'm going to put it out there online, or I'm going to go to the authorities with it. You use threats and intimidation and blackmail and forceful persuasion to get your way. You don't want to let the other person exercise their will and free choice. It's all about what you want.
I do believe in is random sex throughout the day, just like a quickie here and there in the kitchen while you're cutting vegetables. You saw how
You're so gross, Chantal.
I can lift my leg on the island.
Again, she decided to put all this stuff online. Nobody forced her to. She thought she was being cute. It's things like this, Chantal, that keep men away. They see how lewd you're talking online and they're like, no thanks. I mean, you can't even use the reason and excuse. I was talking like this on an adult site, on an adult forum. Now you're talking like this on YouTube in front of everybody, which makes it even more disgusting.
Random sex is not very housewifey. It should be. What's wrong with random sex?
And can I go on record, Chantal, as saying I don't think that you were having nearly as much sex as you were talking about. I think you talked about it to talk yourself up, because in my experience as an older woman, when you are listening to somebody, the more they talk about sex and how much they're having, the less they're having. People that actually have it on the regular don't really feel the need to talk about it. It's just something that they do. I think you were making up stories about sex you were allegedly having with people, but I think very rarely did you actually have it with someone.
Are you kidding? You live with the man that you love all the time? No, because you know what? Near the end with BB, we didn't have sex at all. So I can get that after a while, maybe. But I don't want that to happen ever. Yeah, Gemini Gem, I know. That's why he commented. He's like, every time I call you, you're laying down in bed. I'm not very active. But who wants a person like that? Nobody. Well, too bad.
Now you're pursuing and you want an active guy in your life. At the same time, you're a boring jellyfish who wants to seal and lay around and eat and be sloppy and nasty and not bathe. And you wonder why the men aren't running to your door.
So I know I have to I do want to change. I feel bad about eating this crappy stuff these past few days. So I want to he probably thinks you would be okay with cheating since he thinks you are always sleeping. But I am going to Turkey. And we'll see what happens. Because this guy did say also, he's the one who said we'll get married and have 3 children. And I was like, I can't have kids. He's like, it's okay. But I think just even going there and having a good time with him and having a good time with a lot of people, just meeting a lot of different people. Yeah, I'm not having any expectations. I'm totally, even with these guys I'm messaging, I have so many of them on WhatsApp, and I just
On WhatsApp, she said that Tal Salah contacted her, so she was adding random guys to see if someone would stick. So she was casting a very wide net. She was on the dating sites. She was on the hookup sites. She was on the different messenger services like WhatsApp. Now we know that she's got a Telegram on top of that. Like, she was combing everywhere and everything, looking for a replacement for Nader, doing everything in her power to find some sucker out there, and she found Salah.
go with the flow. If one messages me and I don't want to talk to them, I just don't,
Having all those apps and having all those profiles was another way for her to get attention. The more profiles on the most apps, the more attention she could potentially get.
But I haven't been with the person I'm going to be doing only fans content with this next week. So I'm not too sure how I'm going to go, but he's attractive. So that's exciting. If I go to Turkey, this is going to be so fucking crazy if I start traveling. Would you guys love to watch me travel the world? Is that something that content would excite you?
Well, yeah. I mean, imagine sitting where I'm sitting right now, Chantal. Imagine being a viewer and not the content creator. If you were sitting where I'm sitting, and someone like yourself who doesn't go anywhere, doesn't do anything except sit and eat and get high, said out loud to the audience, Would you guys enjoy the traveling content? Of course, the answer is going to be yes. You get to see new things. You get to experience new things. It's fresh. It's new content. Of course, the answer is going to be yes. People are always interested when they see something new. When there's a sense of, I'm going out there, I'm doing things, I'm talking to people. I'm not just being lazy. People appreciate that.
You're gonna break hearts this time. I don't want to, but oh my god!
That's the thing, though. She wants to break hearts, but she'll never break hearts. I'll tell you why. Because the guys that she involves herself with really aren't in love with her. They are not emotionally invested in this woman. There's no emotional attachment. The only attachment that they have is their hand on her wallet or her purse. And that's as far as the attachment goes. That none of them are crying. I miss her so much. I love her so much. I haven't heard of a single guy that Chantal's been involved with that ever felt that way, acted that way. And there's a reason for it, because they're not attached to her. They don't put her in their hearts.
I want to freak the fuck out until it gets hard to leave someone. Like maybe I'll get to a country, like maybe I'll get to Uganda or somewhere, I don't know. Or maybe Croatia or Spain, Barcelona. And I just meet someone who I could never forget. Match with 10 men on Tinder in Turkey and invite them all in the same bar one night. Bachelorette bees. Oh my god, can you imagine? They would all be jealous of each other, though. They would hate that. They would all want, like, no. That would be a disaster, I think, Mystery Maya. Oh, just thinking of all the attention. I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna look so cute every day. Every day. Oh man. I can't. They're so hot. Turkish men are so hot. Can we shop for Turkey now? We have to soon. I'm going in like a month. I'm so fucking scared, actually. Oh my god. I have to bring that black dress, right? That black dress is it.
She's already planning on going to Turkey and being a hoe. She's like, I'm going to Turkey and being a hoe. I'm not going there to meet a man. I'm going there to meet all the men. She want to be a hoe.
I have to wear it with maybe a nice shawl, or should I not wear that dress? I need to get a nice shawl for it.
She wants to go to different countries, which is fine. But generally, it's a good idea before you go to a different country outside of the country that you live in. It's a good idea to research the people, the culture, what's offensive to them, what's not offensive. Like, be up on the manners. Maybe learn how to speak some of the conversational language. All of that goes a long way. She's not interested in experiencing a different country, a different culture, and being respectful. It's about, I just want to hook up with all the men.
Greece and France. I'll make my way there. I would be scared to go to a Middle Eastern country alone at all.
But you did.
I'm a little nervous, but I'm not terrified. I'm more excited. I'm going to think positive, like, some of them get killed. But they get killed because, like, they don't want you to talk too much. So just fucking know the rules and then you'll be fine. Like,
but you know the rules, but you don't care. How many laws have you broken, Chantal? And you're cocky. You think because nothing has happened to you in Kuwait yet that you've gotten away with something. You haven't. You just haven't gotten caught. All it takes is one time. You can get away with some things some of the time, but not everything all of the time. And all it takes is one time getting caught. One. And you keep pushing the envelope.
Like if you wear, like when in Rome, act like the Romans do.
But you don't, though. You don't. You're not respectful. And I'm just going to say it. You, the way you are, the way you behave, you are that nightmare tourist that all countries hope never show up at their borders. Never get off the plane when the plane lands from other countries. You are that nightmare, loudmouthed tourist. Arrogant, cocky, rude, gross. You're that nightmare tourist that thinks they're privileged and you can do whatever you want and you can be as loud as you want and rude as you want and get away with it. You better be careful. Some places in the world, they have no tolerance for that behavior. None.
If you're gonna go interview a fucking drug cartel who like you don't fucking act like you know what I mean? Like don't be dumb. Like some people just ask for shit. So I'm gonna try to be as respectful as I can when I travel around.
But you don't, though. I mean, I remember you talking about going to Japan. You expressed an interest in Japan. Have you done any studying up on Japan? The culture there, the people? Have you learned any of the language? Do you know what's considered rude over in Japan? I know some of what's rude, what would be considered bad manners. Let me give you an example of some of the things I know. Did you know that it's bad manners to stick your chopsticks in rice and just stab it in there like that? Because that's only done if somebody has passed away. I bet you didn't know that. Uh, the Japanese, they are also big on showing up on time, not being late. That's another one. Here's something else. When you're out with people, it is polite for those who are older to be served first. Like if you're pouring them, you pour somebody else a drink. You don't pour yourself a drink. If there's somebody who's older, they get served first. Like there is a lot of respect for those who are elders. You know, I could just keep going. You also don't lick your chopsticks. They consider that gross. There's a lot of things, Chantal, that you don't know.
Just to avoid like extra problems, you know. And I think just, you know, Mexico City is like super, super populated, isn't it? I was watching. When are you getting married by? I don't know. Couple of years, few years. It's not romantic. Well, what if I make it a romance story? Like I'm traveling around the world.
What if I make it a romance story? Long ago, Chantal said her YouTube channel, it's her story. This is a Chantal story. Did y'all know that one time she wanted to be on a reality show, but she didn't like how reality shows did not pay enough money? So, in my opinion, she turned her YouTube channel into her own personal reality show so she can make all the money. And she can control who was part of the show and who wasn't. She was the writer, she was the director. She can control it all, but it's always been an ongoing, written, spur of the moment, off the cuff story. And we all know how fake stories can be.
And I meet all these guys, but only one of them I can be with forever. Which country do you think it would be in? We can have a wager which country I'll find love in. Oh my god, we can have like a huge bet. And I could have like I don't know, this is crazy. I think I'm gonna find love in I don't know.
Like she's treating this whole love thing like a hunter going out to go get prey. I'm on the hunt. I'm on the hunt for love. The same way that a real hunter would say, I'm on the hunt for a bison or a deer. I've got to hunt it down. I'm looking for prey. If I capture the prey, I have the love. No, you don't.
I think Turkey for sure. Turkey International Bachelorette. The Philippines? You think so? I don't know if I'm going to go to the Philippines. I want to go to Thailand, though.
And she went to Thailand with Salah.
Prison pen pal. There's something hot about being the first one after he's released from prison after 10 years.
Boom! I didn't know that was part of this. I did not know she was going to say that. I'm going to turn it all the way up. Y'all want to hear how creepy and predatory this woman is? What didn't I tell y'all that she made a comment about being such a predator that she wanted a man who had just gotten out of prison. She might be the first one that a man slept with just because he would be so horned up and so desperate. Let's listen to that again.
Right. The Philippines? You think so? I don't know if I'm going to go to the Philippines. I want to go to Thailand, though. Prison pen pal. There's something hot about being the first one after he's released from prison after 10 years. Imagine? Holy shit.
Who thinks this way? Who has fantasies about having relations with a guy who just gets out of prison after 10 years? Like you desire them because they're horned up and they haven't been with a woman in years. And you want to be the first one that they're with because you feel like they're all pent up, that they'll just rip your clothes off and do the dirty with you for hours. Who thinks this way? She does, because she's gross like that.
He'll last like 2 minutes, 2 pumps. Yeah, but he'll do it like 50 times. BB gay.
Yep, that's exactly what she calls Julia now. And we thought she calls Julia that because of Salah's accent. Very weird on all kinds of levels.
I pet you too hard. I'm sorry.
So she did make a comment recently that BBJ was dead to her. And yet you're going to call Julia by the same pet name that you called BBJ? Weird.
She's very fragile now. I was featured on BuzzFeed and Insider. When? For the cheese graveyard? That was on Insider. Because Michael B. Petty, the biggest fucking bully on Twitter.
Hey, we like Michael B. Petty.
Failed aspiring bully on YouTube. No, he was one. Went and cried. Oh, boo-hoo. I care so much about the Heaven's Gate. Fucking deceased members. Such an outrage. Okay, Mr. KFC smelling farts.
Yeah, that didn't age well. She got with the guy who has a poo fetish. But if we're going to be honest, Chantal, you also have a poo fetish. And for those who just like did a double take of what I just said, it's true. She does have a poo fetish, just like Salah. Maybe slanted differently in a different direction, but she still got one. She is absolutely obsessed with poo, with bodily functions, with bodily waste. She loves farting. She likes the smell of her own fart. She's always, smelling her fingers after touching herself. I mean, she's got an actual poo fetish. I've actually watched this woman sit and poo her pants on purpose and then get up giggling like a maniac and go to the bathroom. She doesn't even try to get to the bathroom first before it happens. She will sit and shat her pants.
Anyway, I guess I'm gonna go.
Yeah, please go. I'm hungry and I need to go eat. So hope you guys have enjoyed that react. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you here on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.